Hey brother, it's Dan with Good Guys to Great Men. Thanks again for watching today. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about ways of relating with your partner in your relationship. And the analogy that I want to use today is talking about rough and tumble. So, rough and tumble is this game that most of you will know as playing with either your siblings when you were growing up or your parents when you were growing up, or if you've got kids of your own, then playing that with your kids. And the fun thing about rough and tumble is that, you're this big person who's kind of controlling the environment, throwing the kids around a bit, rolling around. There's a little bit of risk in there, there's a little bit of tension in there. You're really going between safety and fear, right? Safety and what could go wrong. Somebody could get hurt, and you're the one who's kind of in control. You're the one who's kind of in control of both the adventure side of it and the safety side of it. So you know that there are lines there where the kids are squealing and really loving the adventure, the exciting part of it, the risky part of it. And yet every time you take them right up to the edge of maybe this is going to be unsafe, maybe somebody's going to get hurt, and don't go over that edge. You know where that edge is, and you're the one that's kind of managing and controlling who reaches the edge and doesn't go over it. Every time you do that and you don't go over into lack of safety, somebody getting hurt, you create more trust and you create more safety in your leadership of that situation, your management of that situation. So that's how we do it with the kids. And the same thing you can look through the same lens with your intimate relationship, especially when we're talking about the emotional connection in your intimate relationship. And as you know, we often say that the sexual intimacy, physical intimacy side of your relationship is actually a result from the emotional connection. Good, solid, safe, adventurous, fun, playful, emotional connection. If you got that down, and if you're doing the things that create that consistently and don't damage it consistently, then the sex side of things generally takes care of itself, because from a place of connection, going to the physical side of things is easy and it's natural. That's how we want to express ourselves when we feel safe and emotionally connected and trusting of the other person. So same thing, except rather than doing physical rough and tumble with your kids, we're talking here about emotional rough and tumble, or a tussle, So we're talking about how do you have interactions with your partner, especially when there's something kind of challenging happening. Maybe there's some criticism happening, maybe there's some judgment, or maybe there's just, a bad mood coming in your direction. So how do you deal with that and not take it personally and not get upset? Well, the same thing. You need to be able to understand what your role is there. And we want to talk about the man as the emotional weatherman of the environment. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about emotional connection, emotional conversations. Being able to step into a little bit of a leadership role, knowing where the lines are. So where can you talk? How can you interact with this person where you don't go over a line into blaming, criticism, judgment, contempt, all of those sort of things that can damage the connection in the relationship, damage the trust in the relationship, absolutely damage the safety in the relationship. You know where you can go up to in terms of the edge when you're being a little bit playful, when you're being a little bit teasing, when you're a little bit flirtatious, and you're pushing back on something. You may be being challenged around something and you're willing to stand up for your perspective, for what you believe in that situation, and challenge back the other way. But you do it with warmth, you do it with love. It's like a firm but gentle, firm but loving, and to do that, how do you get there? How do you manage to be able to be in that situation and not get triggered, not get reactive, not explode or shut down and avoid the situation, but be able to just stand your ground in that situation and be playful with it, to interact with the other person and to not have them overwhelm you with whatever it is that they're going through and how it is that they're being with you. To be able to do that, you have to do this work that we do with men in our coaching, which is around building your own self-confidence, building your own self-worth, having a very clear understanding of who you are as a man, who you are as a dad, who you are as a lover. All of these things are essential things. And if you're not super clear about what those are for you, what the answers to those questions are for you, we end up being reactive to other people. So we end up being reactive to other people when they're critical of us, when their opinion of us isn't what we would like like it to be, when they don't seem to be affectionate or loving or warm or, holding us in some kind of high regard, we get reactive to that stuff. And every time we get reactive to that stuff, we damage the trust, we damage the safety, we damage the emotional connection. And then it has to be rebuilt again before, especially if we want more physical connection, has to be rebuilt before the physical connection can happen. So this is what we do, guys. This is what we would love to teach you and to help you learn how to be really strong and confident in yourself in a situation that is like rough and tumble, but kind of more of an emotional, mental game rather than the physical game that we play with our kids. So if this sounds good, get in touch. Come to the website, goodguidestogreatmen.com. Apply for a free conversation. We usually do free consultations for an hour to an hour and a half. We don't do a 15-minute consultation because we don't believe that you're going to get any value out of that at all. And also, we don't get to know you. We don't get to understand your situation well enough to be able to coach you around it, to be able to help you with it. So that's it for today, guys. Take it easy. See ya.